Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2022 Toyota RAV4 XLE. Huge shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this SUV for me today. Check out their website, that link is down in the description. The RAV4 that you see behind me is finished off in Ruby Flare Pearl with an MSRP just over $35,000. And then underneath the hood, this has the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the all-wheel drive system. This weighs in right around 3,500 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 8 seconds with a top speed of 114 miles an hour. And it has a fuel capacity of 14.5 gallons. You'll expect to see around 27 miles per gallon in the city and 35 out on the highway. Let's start off with the Toyota badge front and center. This is also the forward-facing sensor, so the adaptive cruise control that's offered on this XLE. And just underneath that for the grille, there's a lot of cutouts to provide cooling to that engine, but this also has kind of a 4Runner vibe to it with the upper section of the grille. So if you've seen the latest generation for the 4Runner, to me, it has a very similar design, and I think it looks really good for this RAV4. Now, this also has LED headlights and LED DRLs. The turn signals are nicely tucked up on the inner side of that housing, and there's really nice lines that run down the hood. There's almost a U-shaped design going from one side to the other. This has a set of 17-inch wheels with that 5-spoke design. There's more of that plastic trim for the fender arches, as well as the lower side skirts, and this even has a sunroof up top. This model even has the roof racks, which are finished off in gloss black. There is some chrome trim for the upper section of all the window trim. This does have a body colored spoiler. The integrated third brake light is also located up top. This also has a backup camera. I can hold the button on the key fob or use the button located to the right side of that backup camera. For the size of this SUV, there's actually a lot of space with the back seats up. This model currently has an additional mat where you can see RAV4. There's tie-down hooks. There's even a 12-volt and a little bit of storage on that passenger side. You can see the spare tire. You could use this for additional storage if you needed. When you fold the back seats down, you can see just how much more practical this smaller size SUV is. You'll notice for this model, we have the beige interior paired with this exterior red is a great color combo. It's on the upper section of the door panel. You'll see there's a trim piece that wraps around the grab handle. It's just above that release handle as well. And as far as legroom goes, at 5'10", I have plenty of room for my feet and my legs, and about 3 or 4 inches above my head. Now I do have this one side all the way reclined, so hopefully you can see there's a little bit of a difference, so you can kind of slouch back just a little bit and enjoy being in the back of this SUV. Now for the driver door panel, it's finished off just like the rears. We have all the window adjustments along with lock and unlock, side mirror adjustments too. A little bit more storage space in the lower section of that door. But let's fire this RAV4 up. With my foot on the brake, that button is over on the right side. We can bring this to life. And currently that center screen is showing a lot of the technology features like the lane keeping assist, the forward collision, the blind spot monitoring, and you have a few other that you can scroll through. Now if I scroll over, you can go to the trip distance where you can monitor that information along with tire pressure, even the all-wheel drive system, so you can see where the power is being sent. I can scroll over again, you can look at the adaptive cruise, and then you can go through your miles per hour, distance till empty. You can look at some averages as well. Even your eco meter, so you can view that in full screen. There's any messages as well. You'll see over on the right side, there's the distance pacing along with the lane keeping assist. You have mode and tuning for the radio along with other cruise control settings. And then over on this left side, there's actually a small compartment with a little bit of a lip. You could place your phone, maybe your key fob, any smaller items you may have. Underneath that, there's a dimmer switch for the gauges, along with the automatic headlights, the defroster for the rear glass. This even has a heated steering wheel, and then you can open and even close that power liftgate. You'll see on the home screen, there's radio and phone, so when you have that paired, it will appear. And then currently it's showing range on that right side. If we go into menu, you have audio and phone, apps. Projection is how you can pair your phone to this system. There's audio, even the map underneath that when you have that. On the right side, there's Seek and Track along with phone and apps. And then underneath that is all the climate adjustments. Very easy to use this system. You can see right in the middle we have fan speed, so you can easily adjust that. The temperature dials are on both sides. There's also defrosters, where you'd like the air to go. You can sync these, turn on the AC, shut everything off. Underneath that, there's traction control along with the heated seats for driver and passenger, even the engine start-stop feature, so you can quickly turn that on and off. And then looking at the leather wrap shifter, with my foot on the brake, I'll simply pull the release and I can put this into reverse. You'll see the backup camera up here with the guidelines. The red line is 12 inches, then 24 and 36. It's very helpful to have those. And then the different driving modes. This has Eco, Normal, Sport. There's also a snow mode, mud and sand, rock and dirt. So in case you want to take your RAV4 off the pavement, you have those settings there, and it will just modulate the all-wheel drive system to help give you the traction that you need. And then if I open up the center armrest, there's some auxiliaries and a good amount of storage, so you can place some items there. You have a nice comfy armrest as well. On the passenger side, it's interesting, there's another smaller bin up top like you saw on the driver's side with a small lip, so you can place some items there. And then you also have the glove box for all of that larger information that you need to place there. It's been a while since I've been behind the wheel of this SUV, and I like it. I have a lot more experience behind the wheel of the 4Runner, which is a little bit larger of an SUV, a little bit more capable for off-road situations, if that's something you're interested in. However, with this RAV4, it's pretty cool to see mud and sand, rock and dirt. I don't think this RAV4 is going to be seeing off the pavement too often, but if you want to take this camping, you're going down a gravel, dirt road, something like that, you have an all-wheel drive system and you have a few different modes there that can help you. And with a slight acceleration there, we are up to speed. The driving modes really just modulate the throttle. So Eco mode, it's gonna be less of an input in the throttle, so you might have to push it a little bit harder compared to Sport mode, where you just tap it and you kind of feel a lot more responsiveness. You have a lot of storage. You can fit people in the back. It's a good all-around daily driving type of SUV. And along with that is visibility. As I make a U-turn there, it is really easy to see in all directions. I love the amount of glass. I love the small corners in front of these side mirrors. Gives you that much more visibility. I like for the money, you get kind of a simple interior. Toyotas are known for having, I'll say, a basic interior. It gives you everything that you need. We have the large temperature knobs here, so that way if you're wearing gloves in the winter, you can easily rotate these. And I know that they have a lot of design elements like that in some of their other models. 4Runner, for example, has large knobs, and that's for colder climate conditions. We have the big knobs underneath that, so you can easily get the heated seats going if you have gloves on, something like that, and push all these buttons. So it's very user-friendly, very simple, but functional. The XLE is more on the top of the line for the trim levels for the RAV4. So this has the distance pacing, adaptive cruise, all of those technology features, all of the blind spot, the pedestrian. So it's nice that you get all of those features. Obviously, if you want the XLE trim level, you can get some of those in the lower trim levels, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a nice place to be. This is something that you can drive every single day. You can rack up hundreds of thousands of miles. Toyotas are known for lasting a long time. So if you're buying this 2022, most likely you will still have it 10 years later. We have the lane keeping assist there to be helpful. You will have this 10 years later, maybe even more. My dad is a perfect example of that. He has owned pretty much all of his Toyotas for around 10 years before he gets the next one. And it's interesting because Toyota usually updates their models every 10 years. So for the 2022 year model in 10 years, obviously that will be a different model or an upgrade, but this won't be outdated in 10 years because for the last 10 years, it's basically going to be the same with some cosmetic changes here and there. So that's also a plus. It won't look outdated and you can keep it for a long period of time, which is pretty awesome. Everything else is very nice. All of these materials. We do have some plastic on the upper dash there, but we even have this upper section here is not black plastic. It might be plastic behind it, but it is covered in the same material, same color, I should say, as the seats. So it gives it more of a premium interior for it, which is great. And let's slow down. We'll put it into sport mode so you can see that change again. We have Eco green there, sport mode is red. One last acceleration for today. With a mild acceleration, it jumped in the RPM there, but we're up to speed. So it's pretty adequate for the engine that is available in this model. But I think that is going to wrap it up for this 2022 Toyota RAV4 XLE all-wheel drive. Once again, huge shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this for me today. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.